Why, it sucked to be a medieval peasant. Imagine waking up before sunrise. You own nothing. The land isn't yours. Most of the food you grow isn't yours. You work until sunset every single day, and yet your family is still hungry. If disease arrives, there is no doctor. If war begins, your village may disappear overnight. Welcome to medieval Europe, where being born a peasant meant living one of the hardest lives in history. A world of lords and peasants. During the Middle Ages, most people in Europe were peasants. Society was divided into kings, nobles, knights, priests, and peasants. The peasants were at the very bottom. Most did not own land. Instead, they worked on land controlled by local lords. In return, they received protection and a small place to live. Daily life. A peasant's day began before sunrise. Men plowed fields, planted crops, repaired fences, and cared for animals. Women cooked, baked bread, fetched water, made clothes, and looked after children. Even young children worked. There were no weekends, very few holidays. Hard work was simply part of life. What did they eat? Forget giant feasts. Most peasants survived on dark bread, vegetable soup, onions, cabbage, beans, and porridge. Meat was rare. Fish was eaten when available. Clean drinking water was often difficult to find, so many people drank weak ale because it was usually safer. Their homes. Most families lived in tiny wooden cottages with thatched roofs. The floor was dirt. Smoke from the fire filled the room because many homes had no proper chimney. During winter, animals were sometimes kept inside to provide warmth. Privacy barely existed. Entire families often slept in one room. Heavy taxes. Life became even harder because peasants had to pay taxes. They gave part of their crops to the Lord. They also paid taxes to the church. Sometimes they worked several days each week for free on the Lord's land. No matter how hard they worked, many remained poor. War and fear. When wars began, peasants suffered first. Armies stole food. Villages burned. Fields were destroyed. Families fled into forests, hoping to survive. The people who had the least often lost the most. The Black Death then came, one of history's greatest disasters. The Black Death spread across Europe during the 14th century. Millions died. Entire villages disappeared. People had little understanding of disease. Fear spread as quickly as the plague itself. For many peasants, survival became a daily miracle. Did they ever smile? Despite the hardship, life wasn't only suffering. Villages celebrated weddings. Harvest festivals brought music and dancing. Religious holidays gave families time to gather. Neighbors helped one another during difficult seasons. Even in poverty, people found hope. The legacy without peasants. Medieval society could not have survived. They grew the food, built the villages, raised families. Their hard work supported kingdoms for centuries. Although history often remembers kings and knights, it was ordinary peasants who kept Europe alive. The next time you complain about a long day at work, imagine living as a medieval peasant. No electricity, no medicine, no freedom to choose your future, just endless labor, uncertainty, and hope that tomorrow would be better. History reminds us that ordinary people often carried the greatest burdens, and their stories deserve to be remembered just as much as those of kings and queens.